The first block of the Friday night games ended in a bang, and let's start the second block of games with a spectacular matchup of 1-1 teams. The Quarry in Lexington, Kentucky is the scene for two teams looking to get themselves above 500 as the Lexington Miners host the Fort Worth Toros here tonight on some SFL action. Good evening, everyone. I am Brett Solberg on your play-by-play here alongside Rochelle Colston with me on the booth here. Rochelle, these are two teams pretty evenly matched. You might say maybe one thing favors the other, but even teams throughout coming into this matchup.
Yeah, I think tonight, both teams, like you said, were pretty matched up. But whoever can get the run game established tonight, I think has a better chance of winning this game.
Yeah, it'll be a big key focus on the running tandem of Jet Zero and JC Bacon on the Fort Worth front, who had a little bit of struggles in that second half of their Florida game, whereas Dion James and Ian Francis over in the Lexington side have still yet to get things going in their side. Just around 90 yards combined between those two within the first two games. So whoever does get that run game going is going to probably get the upper hand. I've got Takeda Yuki and Stephen Hacker here in the stats booth with us to help us all throughout the game. Of course, producer and commissioner extraordinaire Cameron Irvine is with us. And away we go here in the Quarry in Lexington as the kickoff sails far into the end zone, and it will be touched back. And this is where we're going to see Kenny Slider and company start off on offense. Rochelle, it has been a little bit of a struggle offensively, despite the 1-point victory against Anchorage. What do you expect to see out of their first drive?
I think they're trying to establish the run game early here. At least I'm hoping so.
Currently 19th in the league at 54 yards per game is the Lexington offense, as that run will net a couple yards. And here we'll go quickly through the Lexington offense. We talked about Kenny Slider as the quarterback. Running backs, Dion James, Ian Francis. Wide receivers, Alex West, Gabriel Manning, and Marquis Sango, along with tight ends, DJ Bandit and Chris Alter. We will get through the offensive line after this play. Another handoff, this time to Francis, it looks like. That's going to be James on the run for another 3 yards. That's going to be a 3rd and 4. And we'll quickly go through the offensive line. Donnie Treverson, Oliver Tarasker, your tackles. Guards, Ricky LaFleur and Phoebe Collins, along with center Jasmine Swift. Ace pro formation on 3rd and 4. And they'll go with a delayed handoff to Francis, who will knock off short. Jasad Grackleflint with the tackle will force an early 3 and out for the Lexington offense.
And that's Grackleflint's 3rd tackle of this drive.
And it will be an early punt, and like you said, Grackleflint got involved with every tackle so far, and that's what we've seen out of him so far this season, as that punt sails up and away, and it will net a decent return for Henry McGee. Will get them to the Fort Worth 44-yard line, and just like that, Fort Worth's offense is out on the field for the first time. We will see Scar Patterson and company.
Starting on the 45-yard line, that's awesome field position.
Yeah, anything, I would say past the 30-yard line would net yourself good field position. And Scar's got to love this to start off. It'll be split spread on 1st and 10. 2 receivers to the right. We got 2 split backs along with the receiver to the left. There will be a handoff. This one will go to Jay-Z Bacon, who will get himself 5 yards. And very quickly, we will go through the Fort Worth offense. Scar Patterson is the quarterback. Running backs at Jet Zero, Jay-Z Bacon, and Aaron Alexander. Wide receivers of Henry McGee, Mike St. Green, Smithers Withers in the 4th, and Stephen Hacker, along with tight ends Robert Gary Jr. and James Matthew Jr. Patterson will drop back on 2nd down and will net a catch from Stephen Hacker far on the left side to net a 1st down for the Toros.
Well, I like this so far. You start with a run drive, you get 5 yards, and then you find your favorite receiver, Hacker.
Yeah, it was a quick pass as well, because Hacker just went straight on a go route, and the corner decided to go on a zone area on a flat hard route, and it left Hacker wide open. They're going to stick to this strong eye formation. It will be a weak play to Bacon, who will get himself a nice chunk of yardage, just 9 yards, a little bit shy of the 1st down marker here. I'll quickly go through the offensive line consisting of Duke LaRue, Emilio Panda, and Jaleel LaRue that helped out with that 9-yard run. 2nd and 1, they're going to go with a split back formation again, right up the gut to Aaron Alexander, who will get the 1st down. And right now, early on, Rochelle, the run game for Fort Worth has been paying dividends on this drive.
And definitely, I like the way they're mixing things up. I mean, their run game is important. They have actually three great backs. They have Alexander, Bacon, and Zero, and they're spreading the ball around here.
They're going to shift the fullback into a strong position, still in a twins formation. Handoff to Bacon, who has a shed a tackle but doesn't get past the second. Will get 3 yards on the run. And again, Fort Worth trusting on that run game early on.
And now they're on the 20. They're almost to the red zone here very quickly.
And it's been a big part to get this run game more involved. Just 61 carries for the first 2 games. Around a 50% click rate. As that pass just sails over the hands of Hacker. It'll be 3rd and 7 coming up.
I'm not sure what happened there. Did Hacker get bumped on his route? I mean, it's just a little overthrown.
Just a tad overthrown. The bump might be correct on there, Rochelle. They're going to go trips to the left with 3 receivers on 3rd down. They're going to move Mike St. Green over, shifting from left to right, making this more of a quads. Roll out to the left for Patterson, looking down the right side, and it's deflected. Great deflection from J-Rock to stop the drive and force a field goal attempt from Sophia Peaches.
Good play by the defense there for sure.
The rollout, throwing to the opposite side, sometimes works in the SFL. They didn't work this time. And now a 42-yard attempt from Sophia Peaches off the right hash. Kick is up and it'll curl right down the middle of Main Street. And Fort Worth gets the first points on the board via a field goal. 8 plays, 31 yards. That started off on great field position. That gives Fort Worth the early 3-0 lead here, just 3.5 minutes into the game.
Let's see if Lexington come out and do something better than a 3 and out. Have to respond here.
Their major issue on that drive was that they only got 6 yards on 3 carries. Can they do better in the run game? It is returned at the 1-yard line. Past the 30 will go Gabriel Manning and will stop himself at the 32. And that's a good return for anyone that's getting themselves like deep into their own territory to start things off.
Well, Gabriel Manning is one of the best in the league at returning this ball. He's also very dangerous in return.
Dangerous indeed, as Manning has himself no return touchdowns yet this season, but he's got himself 26 over his 17 season career, as they will go empty set on 1st down with 2 tight ends and 4 receivers. There'll be a rollout to the right for Slider, looking right side, finds Alexander Rest right across midfield, gets to the 48-yard line of Fort Worth territory. They're starting off with a pass-heavy drive.
I'm not surprised after their first drive was mostly runs, wasn't very successful. Alexander West, middle of the field, wide open. You can't have that.
Wide open on the right side. And like you said, there is a tandem wide receiver bunch in the league. None two stand out more than Manning and West when it comes to the Lexington offense. 1st down, they're going back to this ace pro formation with 2 tight ends. They're going to shift over. It looks to be Sango over on the right side. Quick drop from Slider, will look right side, finds Alter on the right side, will net 5 yards, and the pass game looking a little bit more fruitful than their last drive, which was run only.
Yeah, Kenny Slider that time felt the pressure. They had the lineman converging on him really quick. He got rid of the ball, made a great pass.
They'll be split backs with 1 receiver on 2nd and 5. They're going to move Manning from right to left. Will be a handoff. It will be to Ian Francis, who only gets a yard, and will set up a 3rd and 4. And it looks like this Fort Worth defense is prepared for those split back runs. We've seen that a couple times now.
Yeah, Gracklefin has it, on lockdown there. Another tackle by him.
They'll stick to the same formation on 3rd and 4. Watch this be a potential run for Dion James, but instead it'll be a rollout. Good block on the right side, but Slider can't find his target. Had 2 open receivers, and it looked like there might have been a little bit of miscommunication, and that's going to set up 4th down.
I thought it was Manning that was the intentional receiver, but I'm not so sure. There was 2 in the area.
It looked to be Manning and Altair on that same side. It might have been DJ Bandit as well. We haven't seen him in action yet, but they'll punt this away again, this time looking to pin him deep, and that is what they will do. This baby will punt high off the bounce, and it looks like it's going to be close to the 5-yard line potentially. Let's see where they mark this ball. And Fort Worth will start things inside the 10 and around the 9-yard line. So it's 91 yards just to get 6 points. And they're going to go split spread on 1st and 10. Handoff to Bacon up the middle. That first level of defense just not there yet for Lexington. And another 6 yards for J.Z. Bacon on 1st down.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with the Fort Worth run game so far. They're doing really well. And this back up in your end zone, you have to do that here.
Already 23 yards on just 4 carries for Bacon in this first quarter. They're going to hand it off. This time it's going to be the 0 with the Lexington defense guessed right on where 0 was going to go. That's going to be a loss of a yard.
I couldn't see the number of the player who got the stop. It was amazing stuff.
Going back to split spread, it'll be Patterson. Back to throw, looking around down the middle. Ooh. Finds Stephen Hacker, who has been a second half wonder for the first couple games for Fort Worth, but this first quarter it has been all Hacker in the pass game.
Yeah, Hacker does a great job. He's off the line so fast. He puts himself in between the linebacker and the secondary and makes a great catch.
3 of the 4 targets have gone Hacker's way. He's caught 2 already for 32 yards. And they're going to stick to this split back formation with the 3 receivers. Patterson, quick step drop down middle, finds Hacker again, sheds off 1 tackle, and another catch and run this time from Stephen Hacker that nets 15 yards.
Not only is Hacker a great receiver, he's also a strong receiver and a big target, and it's hard to bring him down missing the tackle there.
And it might be a matchup of experience versus youth, as Hudson Cruz seems to be his matchup tonight. And that is 17 seasons versus the rookie in Hudson Cruz. Patterson will hand things off. This will be 2-0, who will get a nice chunk of yardage, 6 yards on the play. And again, that run game, if they continue it this way throughout this game, it's going to be a nightmare for the Lexington defense.
It's also a very balanced offense.
So far, 7 runs to 5 pass attempts. Like you said, Rochelle, fairly balanced so far. This will be pass number 6 over to Hacker's side, who will be marked just short. It looked like he crossed the first down marker, but it looks to be a key tackle that pushed him back, and it's going to be 3rd and inches.
Good challenge. I'm surprised. I thought he had it.
Yeah, we've seen early challenges in the first block, but this time it's going to be Patterson with the draw, and we'll just get the first down. He says, no nonsense. Let's just get the first down. Let's move those chains.
And a great play call. I mean, it was just inches he had to get.
And a strong eye pro here inside the 40. Patterson back to throw. Looks down the middle. It's intercepted. No. Cameron Shaw sticks to his receiver and gets the interception. Scratch that. That's Iggy Turner with the interception, and Lexington has found some momentum.
That was a pretty dangerous pass. I mean, he didn't really move that much. He was just right there when the ball was thrown.
First time in 4 passes that Patterson was looking anyone but Hacker's way, looking for James Matthew Jr., and Turner finds his way to get the ball and give it to the Lexington offense here at the 25-yard line. And now it's up to the offense to dictate what they're going to do. Handoff on the stretch side. They're trying to get that run game going, but the Fort Worth defense shuts it down on first down.
That was Tavius Gordon on the stop. I mean, Fort Worth's doing a great job on this run, stopping the Lexington run game so far.
We're going to stick to this heavy lineup. They've got 2 tight ends on either side, ace formation. There will be a throw for Slider. He will try to get it off the right side, looking for Alter, and doesn't get it off. Tight coverage on that throw. It's going to be 3rd and 10.
I think that time he threw the ball before he actually wanted to. Pressure was coming. Great job at secondary.
And Fort Worth has brought the pressure here in this first quarter. Bunch formation now for Lexington. Got 3 receivers to the right. A Slider looks down the middle, finds DJ Bandit down the middle, right between the hash marks, and will give Lexington the first down.
You need a big play. You put your big tight end in the middle of the field. Big target. Basically, a little contested there, but great catch.
Yeah, and that's the tough part of having to defend a bunch formation with those three receivers all tight together. It's going to be difficult to see where they're going to cut in the route. And Bandit found his way open. Back to this ace formation on first down at the 40-yard line. It'll be a run to the left for Francis, who is trying to get past, but will only get 3 yards. 2nd and 7 opens things up, but they're definitely wanting to open it up a little bit more.
Great job as secondary on the run coverage there. I mean, Fort Worth's not allowing anything on the ground.
Back to split backs for 2nd and 7. Be a delayed handoff. Sheds off tackles. A fumble down. But Manning looks to recover it right at the line of scrimmage. And that is one of the faults of the delayed handoff. He sheds off one tackle. Deion James tries to spin, but it gets fumbled out.
They're very lucky there. I do not like that play whatsoever. A good job by Manning knowing where the ball was on the ground.
And just like that, Rochelle, we are through the first quarter. Fort Worth, with the early 3-0 lead after the field goal, will be right back at the start of the second quarter.
That was quick.
Very quick first quarter, Rochelle Colston. Brett Solberg alongside with you with Lexington on a 3rd down and 6. Coming up, a big 3rd down already to start off this second quarter. Slider will be back to throw. He's looking for his big target down the right side, but too many Fort Worth defenders, and it forces a 4th down.
I think that was Jeff Pascoli on the tip, but they had like 5 defenders in the air. Very dangerous pass.
They had defenders in front. They had defenders behind. Fort Worth basically saw that play coming from a mile away, as that punt is off. And it's a nice one. That'll be returned at the 15-yard line, and Henry Gee will give himself a good 10-yard return. Sets Fort Worth up at the 27. And if you're Fort Worth, Rochelle, I don't see any reason why not to just keep running the football.
Really, you're killing the clock. You're keeping the Lexington's offense off the field. I agree.
You know, the pass game is working in the sense of 46 yards in the first quarter, but that run game has netted them those first downs that have moved the chains for them. And they're going to start off with I-twins on this 1st and 10. Hacker will shift over to the left. It will be a handoff left side to J.Z. Bacon, who again gets past the first level, gets stopped at the second level, but will still get 6 yards on the carry.
I mean, when you're running back for getting 4, 5, 6 yards on a carry, there's no way I'd pass the ball.
More heavy set I-wing jokers here on this 2nd down. It will be a pass looking for Hacker down the middle, finds Hacker, and it will be just about a yard or 2 short from the 1st down marker. Nice little dump action from Patterson.
He was forced to dump it off because the pressure was coming by Lexington that time.
And you have to think Lexington will look to apply a little bit more pressure and give Patterson less time in the pocket. 3rd and 2. Again, it's a draw play, and he gets through the line. The line of gray jerseys cannot get to Patterson before the 1st down. That's the 2nd time, Rochelle, that he's called his own number to get across the line.
And that time I thought they had him behind the line of scrimmage, actually. Great job by him just pushing forward.
Split pro, it'll be a pass down the middle, looking for Mike St. Green, and he has a beautiful one-handed catch in front of the defender, and quickly MSG gets involved in the play.
Yep, because Lexington's bringing the pressure again. He's getting rid of the ball in a hurry, though, and found his receiver in the middle of the field.
And you can see the adjustments is that they're going with quick routes with the receivers too. So now getting MSG involved spells a little bit of doom to Lexington offense. Should they back up a little bit? They're going to apply more pressure, but it leaves Hacker open on the pass. Again, another 13-yard catch and carry for Hacker, as it's been the Stephen Hacker show in this first half.
That was a bang-bang play. I mean, he got rid of the ball in a hurry. He caught Hacker basically in stride. Great one-handed catch.
Unofficially at 68 yards through 6 catches already. He has been a definite factor in Fort Worth moving down the field, almost in field goal range in this drive already, as they hand it off to Bacon. Again, getting through that first level, doesn't get past the second. Another 6 yards, and we're starting to see consistency in the run game. 5 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards.
The best thing they're doing, though, is they're mixing it up. I mean, they don't know what to expect from the defense anymore.
That's a very good point. Back to I-Wing Jokers. They're going to go with a handoff to Zero, who tries to get past. Looked to be Tony Roberto, but he stops him on his tracks. Maybe gets about half a yard.
So we know 3rd and 4 here. Let's see what they do.
They're in about 4.5 here. They're going to stick to the split back formation. They got 2 receivers. Handoff to Zero, who gets to the line. They're going to see he gets a first down, but that is a very close call, Rochelle Colston.
I think it was a first. You may see a challenge here. It was really close.
And the red hanky stays in the pocket. And they're not going to challenge it. I-Twins here for first down at the 21. Handoff to Bacon, who gets stuck behind his own lineman. And that forces Philadelphia Collins to get into the tackle. I'm going to very quickly try to get through this Lexington defense here, Rochelle. Defensive ends Chris Andrews, R.C. Puff, and Berto Demora, along with defensive tackles Mike Mello, Brenda Puff, and Jaden Swift. As we go I-Twins on this 2nd and 10. Linebackers Philadelphia Collins, Iggy Turner, and Tony Roberto. We will get to the D-backs after this play. Handoff to Bacon, who will push his way forward. And there's a man down on that play. It looks to be a Lexington player. And that's going to be Berto Demora, who's going to be that edge rusher that is trying to apply the pressure on Lexington. That's going to be a big blow for the defense.
Definitely a big blow, but that was a great job by the halfback there, just pushing his way forward. They hadn't actually won this for
It's that unsuspecting strength from those running backs sometimes. We think it's a 1-yard gain. No, they'll find a way to make it more than that. Split backs, they're going to go back to Bacon, who will just bully himself to the first down line and make it 1st and goal now for Fort Worth, as this run game, again, has dictated this drive.
And a long drive it is so far, too. Eating that clock.
It's an excellent point. They started things at the 9:48 mark, so they're already 4 minutes into this drive. Handoff to Zero, who gets stuck on his lineman. He can only get a yard. It's a good tackle from Iggy Turner. As we go through the defensive backs for Lexington, Nate Heslip, Devontae Moore, Hudson Cruz, Jay Rock, and Cameron Shaw are your corners. And then you've got safeties Travis Arthur, who already has 5 tackles in this game, and Marco Swift. I-Twins on 2nd and goal. They're going to move Hacker to the right side. They might see a mismatch with him, and it looks to be Nate Heslip. Patterson looking down middle, looking for Hacker, and will slide to the end zone, but gets touched at the 1-yard line by a defender. It'll be 3rd and goal at the 1.
I wasn't sure if he actually caught that or not. Wow.
A great display of athleticism from Hacker to catch it, and a great awareness from the Lexington defender to touch him at the 1-yard line as he was down to not get the touchdown allowed. I'm going to shift over James Matthew Jr. to this offside here on split backs, and he's going to go straight down the middle for J.Z. Bacon, and he will get 6 on the board for Fort Worth. It is now a multi-score lead for the Toros.
That time the offensive line created a hole that I could have ran through.
And almost looked to be that Matthew Jr. was a decoy as he was shifting over to the right side, completely away from the line. And it led to a wide open hole down the middle, like you said, Rochelle, as a masterful, long 4.5-minute drive goes Fort Worth's way, and 5 minutes, I should say, going 74 yards down the field, ending in 6, making it 10-0 here halfway through the 2nd quarter. Rochelle, every Monday night spectacular, you can win some money for your player or your team bank by playing VFN Bingo alongside the feature game of the week. Claim your virtual card and mark off numbers coinciding with the yardage of scores and the scores themselves. This week so far, the part is up to $105,000. See VFN Bingo section on the SFL server for more information, as Lexington will start off their drive at the 21-yard line. I expect that pot to go a little bit higher. If you remember, Rochelle, it was at like 90,000 at this point last week, and ended up being like over 300 grand. So keep on liking that SFL Blitz video for more of that money to come out.
If Cameron just quit giving me broken bingo cards.
I mean, the first bingo card I had only had 4 numbers called. So yeah, I think he just gave me a faulty one too. Slider back to throw on first down, looking down the right side, finds Manning. And that was some tight coverage. I wasn't sure if that catch was going to actually be completed, but Manning has the hands, and it'll be a 7-yard gain.
Yeah, Packer for the Toros and Maine for Lexington and West are all dangerous receivers for both on these teams.
It's been more Hacker than Manning so far in this game as the handoff is going to look to beat James, and he can't get through as the safeties get involved. Ben Stone with the tackle to stop him at the line of scrimmage.
Yep, and they're still trying to get that run game going, so not very successful yet.
At what point, Rochelle, do you start eliminating the run game when it's not working? Would you say at this point down 10-0?
You really can't, because you have to keep the defense honest.
And
that's
how you keep the defense honest, as Ian Francis finds a hole on the left side and will get himself a good 15 plus on that run. First down for the Miners.
That was an impressive run there.
Again, like you said, it was almost like Nostradamus or Moses parting the Red Sea. You called it, as Francis just moves down the field and gets the first down through that run. They're going to hand it off this time to James, who will get a nice chunk of yardage. First time we've seen more open holes like that on that formation. 4 yards on that first down play.
Yep, so I'd keep going with it until they can stop it here.
Going back to split back formation. This was the one that got Francis the 15-yard run. They're going to go opposite side. Francis kind of getting stuck between linemen and can't get past the line of scrimmage, I should say. Stone again with that line of scrimmage hit.
Yeah, that time the defensive front got a little bit of push and kind of got him stuck behind his own blockers.
Lexington only 2 of 6 on third down to start off this game. They need to get this conversion. Back to throw slider, finds Alexander West down the middle of the hash marks. And Alexander West, probably one of the more underrated wide receiver 2s in the game, gets Lexington the first down.
That time he just ran a good route and put himself in the middle of the field. There was nobody around him.
Completely burns Adam Leach on that play, and nobody within a 5-yard radius. And you talk about speed in this matchup, Rochelle. We're very quickly at the 2-minute warning. 10-0 is your score with 2 minutes left to go, but Lexington is driving.
This game is just flying by, Brent.
Yeah, it feels like maybe 5 minutes ago we had that opening kickoff, but all of a sudden we're almost done one half. 120 seconds left to go in the first half. Lexington driving down the field, and they will start off their first down run with Ian Francis, and he'll get Lexington 5 yards. And when you're inside enemy territory, I don't think it's quite too early to call timeouts yet. They still have all 3.
Yeah, be very watchful of this clock, though. Have great clock management here. It's important.
Probably start calling timeouts inside the 1 minute mark, as it looks to be James looking to spin his way around, can't get through. Will only get 2, and it's another 3rd and short coming up for Lexington.
This would be a huge stop for Fort Worth here. I don't think they're quite.
This is still outside field goal range, mind you. Back to throw a slider. He has no time at all, as Hendrick Callahan stops Slider in his tracks. Timeout called by Fort Worth to preserve some time.
Yeah, I mean, if they've been bringing the pressure all night, they finally got to him.
Very shocking with all that pressure coming in. The first sack of the contest comes from Hendrick Matthews. This is a fake. What? They're going to get the catch on this, but it's going to be just short of the first down. A little bit of trickery doesn't quite work for the Miners special teams.
I mean, awesome try, though. I mean, I was caught off guard.
And honestly, Rochelle, perfect time to do so. You're inside enemy territory. You're so close to field goal range. Why not give it the chance? But they are just a couple yards short, and Fort Worth will start things off on a turnover on down to the 34 with 1:03 left. Handoff to Bacon, as he will get 3 yards. And this will maybe determine whether they're going to go fast or slow with 52 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, if I was Fort Worth, I wouldn't do anything flashy here. I mean, you got a 10-point lead. Let's see what happens.
It's been pretty comfortable for the Fort Worth defense so far. Patterson finds Hacker on the right side with some space. Past the 45-yard line. We'll get to the 34. and he will stop out of bounds and stop the clock at 35 seconds. Rochelle, Fort Worth might not be done scoring yet in this half.
And look at Hacker. I mean, he's doing it all. He makes a catch. He knows where he is. He gets out of bounds. He stops the clock, saves the timeout.
Most receivers wish for a first half performance that we've seen from Stephen Hacker. 8 catches, 105 yards through the first half. Empty full receiver set on first down. Patterson back to throw, looks down the middle, finds his man, and that's the first catch from Henry McGee that will get them close to the red zone.
And with those yards today, Stephen Hacker has now reached 17,000 career receiving yards.
He gets himself in. If you didn't think he was in the upper echelon, he's in the upper echelon now of great wide receivers. Congratulations to Hacker on that. Patterson back to throw down the left side, finds McGee again, and they will call their final timeout now inside the 2-yard line.
Yep, now he just handed off to Zero or Bacon here.
There's no Bacon on this here. It's going to be a shotgun formation with 3 receivers and 2 tight ends. Patterson looking down the corner, throws a little bit too much mustard to Hacker. It'll be 2nd and goal with 23 ticks left in the half.
Right, what's happening here? Their run game has been working all night. Why would they go to shotgun on the 2-yard line?
It's the 2-minute drill offense that we've seen from a couple teams in this season so far. If they get into a hurried up scenario, you start to see more shotgun formations, more passing formations. Even at the 2-yard line, Patterson looking down the middle, throws a too much mustard again, looking for Matthew Jr., and he catches it out of bounds, 3rd and goal.
Oh, I just don't like this at all. I mean,
yeah, if you're Fort Worth, you got to get back with the run game. You have to go back with the run game if you're Fort Worth. They've got Bacon on. They're going back to shotgun here on 3rd and goal. They're still looking to get aggressive here on the late stage of this 2nd quarter. I don't mind aggressive. I'm an aggressive coach myself. Patterson looking down the middle, looking for a Hacker again, but it's intercepted. This time it's going to be one of the reserve linebackers that gets in on the action. That's going to be number 53, Will Overstreet, with the interception.
Yeah, when you get to the 2-yard line, your defense just stacks that end zone. The interception was bound to happen. I just don't understand.
In truth, Rochelle, I was almost waiting for Patterson to go with a draw run himself. But Lexington, with 15 seconds to go, I don't think they're going to do all too much left with this drive. They did get a drive-stopping interception. They're going to hand it off to Francis, who will only get a yard, and we expect this clock to run down, and both teams will head back to the locker room. It is a 10-0 score, but Lexington's defense has stepped up in this 2nd quarter and has made things interesting. They just need to get their offense going, in my opinion. Rochelle Colston, talk about this first half and what are the keys to the 2nd half for both teams?
The key to the 2nd half for Lexington is you have to come out, you have to start using your pass game more. Your run game still is not working. But Fort Worth, you just keep doing what you're doing.
And if you're looking at what Fort Worth did right, is what you stated earlier, Rochelle. It's that balanced attack that they had. It's not just one-way run or one-way pass. They're mixing it up, and that's what's being successful for them. And it's led to not only Scar Patterson going 11 of 17 for 143 yards, but J.Z. Bacon has been a big X factor in this offense. 11 carries, 51 yards unofficially, and 1 touchdown. I expect to see more balance out of them. If you're Lexington, you just got to keep moving, finding ways to move down the field and not making any errors. They had one good opportunity, but it was fumbled away. So they got to keep the ball in their hands, essentially. That's what I believe I would be looking at for both teams as we enter the 2nd half here in Lexington, Kentucky at the Quarry. It's a 10-0 score for Fort Worth, as Fort Worth will start off with the football in this 2nd half. Rochelle, we've had a very quick first half. Do we expect things to slow down at any point?
I don't think so. I mean, it's been a very clean game. No penalties so far. Fort Worth's been burning that clock and keeping that Lexington defense on.
Kickoff return by Witherson, who will only get to the 18-yard line. So this is probably Fort Worth's, I would say, second deepest drive so far, aside from the one that started at the 9-yard line. But Fort Worth will start off with the football, and they're going to go split spread. And this was very favorable in the first half for Jay-Z Bacon on this formation. And they will hand it off to Bacon, who sheds off one tackle, but gets shouldered on the second tackle, but not before getting that all-important 6 yards that we've been seeing on that play.
Yep, and I think if you're Fort Worth, you're gonna see a lot more of this run game.
It's been 12 carries for Bacon, just 5 for 0, but expect Jet Zero to get more involved as this second half progresses. It will be a handoff to Zero, who sheds off one tackler, gets hit on the second one, but not before crossing the first down marker. And run from Zero and from Bacon gets their first down of the second half.
Yeah, Fort Worth has these huge, pounding backs.
Back to the split spread. They're going to hand it off to Bacon on the left side this time. It will shed off tacklers and will get 9.75 on the run. 2nd and inches coming up.
Yeah, you're just beating down this defense. I mean, terribly.
It's big credit to the offensive line that's opening up the gaps for not only Bacon, but for Zero as well. That is just leading up to great opportunities. Back to this heavy set formation. Then it will be a stretch run for Zero, who will get the first down yardage, gets shouldered again, but I don't think he cares that much. He got the first down. He's moving the chains.
I'm surprised they're not bringing their cornerbacks to the line with this run game going. I mean, the cornerbacks were playing back. Anything to the outside's pretty much open.
Well, the thing is, Hacker has been demolishing them in the past game so far, so they're trying to be weary with that too. Handoff to Bacon, who again, plenty of space down the middle, and that's 7 yards. But we're going to take a quick game break, head on over to Cameron Irvine and VFN Studios. Cam, how's the other game going?
Hey, Brent, thank you very much. Albuquerque up 7-0 on Los Angeles when Sully Richardson connected with Stephen McMichaels for the 31-yard score. It's the Adams up 10-7 as Los Angeles is now in the red zone. Back to you.
LA continuing that miracle start that some people were hoping, and right now looking to be ahead of the current 0-3 Albuquerque Adams as Zero gets another big run for that first down. Rochelle, we talked about this earlier. Very, very surprised at this hot start from LA so far.
Yeah, I'm good for them. I'm glad it's finally working out for them. It's a couple of rough seasons for them.
Looks like they finally turned things around as Bacon once again gets the handoff, and this has been a run-heavy drive. They're eating the clock off as we approach 3 minutes on this drive. Continuing to move down the field, it's been between 4 and 7 yards with these running backs.
Yeah, and I don't think the team made the proper adjustments at halftime for this run game. They still can't stop it.
Seems like Fort Worth is happy with the scoreline right now and is kind of happy with taking the time off the clock. Again, handoff to Bacon, who easily gets the first down and a little bit more as they continue to move down the field with relative ease.
And this defense is getting tired. I mean, they've been grounding that ball all day.
Yeah, Rochelle, when you get around past 3 minutes in a drive, the defense, they get tired. It's been all runs on this drive. All 8 plays have been runs. It's either been to Zero or it's been to Bacon. Hand off again, this time to Zero, who will get stuffed at the line. It's going to be Overstreet again with the tackle, and that's going to be 2nd and 10.
The first time they've actually been able to make a stop here on this drive.
They're sticking with this split spread formation with 3 receivers. They're going to hand it off to Bacon, and again, plenty of space after an open hole from the offensive line. Gets them 9 yards, makes it 3rd and 1.
And the O-line's just doing a great job tonight, Brett. I mean, literally, I could run through those holes.
I mean, I could run it too, and I'm 6'8". I'd be a bigger target to tackle. Stretch handoff to Zero, and again, easily gets the first down as they continue to keep running down this gullet of the Lexington defense. Another first down for the Toros.
They've almost eaten up half of this quarter already with their throwing game.
And it seems like this split back formation has been their bread and butter, and they continue to go this way. I say, why not continue it? That's been your success. Split spread on first down, handoff to Bacon, who sheds off one tackler, gets past the first down again. They're going to mark it short. That looked to be a first down to me, but maybe they're looking at the knee of Bacon and making it 2nd and 1.
We'll get a replay here. I know he had it. I definitely challenge here.
It looked like it. But when you're up 10-0 and you've taken 5 minutes off this drive, I don't think you want that clock to stop. It's going to be a heavy set formation. They're going to move Hacker on this I-wing Jokers over to the opposite side. And it will be a draw play for Patterson, who gets close to the end zone and gets stuffed at the 1-yard line. And we are back in 1st and goal territory like we saw at the 2-minute drill in that second quarter, Rochelle.
They're very lucky that Patterson has not gotten injured here tonight with all these little quarterback sneaks.
You better knock on wood now, Rochelle, because you speak that into existence. It's going to happen. Looking to scramble, and he does. Scar Patterson scrambles one more time, says, I ain't going to get injured. 6 on the board for Fort Worth.
That time I thought they had him. Somehow he manages to break the tackle and just bounces off the defenders, basically.
A design draw that, it looked to be a little bit of a broken play, Rochelle, but it ended up still being fruitful for Scar Patterson as he gets into the end zone. Not a passing touchdown, but he gets himself in with a rushing touchdown, continuing with that all-run drive that took nearly 6 minutes off the clock, making this a 17-0 game halfway through the 3rd quarter. Chat, the more likes we get, the more people that see our content. Each like contributes $1,000 today to Monday's bingo pot. New viewers means new players, and new players mean growing our great community. Like this video and turn notifications on so you'll never miss a live stream, highlight, or podcast. Thanks for your support of the Virtual Football Network and the SFL. As that kickoff sails into the end zone and will be touched back, so Lexington now down 17. You've got about 14 minutes left on the clock in this game, Rochelle. What do they need to do?
They need to score points in a hurry, and that's a second drive by Fort Worth that went for 14 plays and both were over 5 minutes. So they had 1 quarter time just running the ball.
Yep, going back to the second quarter, they had a 5-minute, 15-second drive as Francis gets stuffed behind the line of scrimmage for a 2-yard loss. Jeff Gagne with the TFL. Going triple on this second down will be a dump off to James, as I have had a unfortunate time between these two Lexington running backs. I apologize on behalf of myself, but Deion James gets the catch and run to make it 3rd and 8.
I guess, Brett, what point do they abandon the run game? They have to soon.
Yeah. They're going to abandon it here. Is this going to be a run? But Slider uncharacteristically steps out of the pocket and gets met by a Fort Worth Toro defender immediately. Sack on the board.
They've been bringing the pressure all night. This time number 50 gets to him.
Nate Brown, the former Baltimore Vulture, getting into the sack party. And now Lexington pinning themselves deep to punt this away. Looking for a long one, and they will cross midfield. But again, Fort Worth starting things off with great field position. Fair caught at the 41-yard line. And Rochelle, we head right back to Fort Worth. It was all run all the time through that 14-play drive. Do you expect the same thing?
Yes. You bring this poor Lexington defense back on the field who is exhausted.
Fort Worth now at 154 rushing yards as Jet Zero will get another 4 more on that board. And it's not like Fort Worth wants to abandon the run game. It's just, or abandon the pass game, I should say. That run game has just been too good in this 3rd quarter.
I mean, you have a 17-point lead. Why would you even chance an interception at this point when your run game is just doing the trick?
Exactly so, as this will be the first pass in 16 plays, and it still works. Stephen Hacker, tight coverage, but still uses his no-glove hands I've been always arguing he should grab some gloves, and he proves to me otherwise. That's his 9th catch of the night.
You love the defense to sleep by run, run, run. They just have Hacker just run a little route to the outside and caught the cornerback off guard, and great catch.
And if he's open like that, Patterson's just going to keep throwing the ball his way. 120 of Patterson's 158 yards have been exclusively to Hacker, as Stephen Hacker will move over to the slot side on the left. Toss play for Jet Zero, who has plenty of space, sheds off a blocker, gets past the first down marker, gets a little extra more. 16 yards for Jet Zero as they continue to carve up this Lexington defense.
Notice when the defense gets tired, they miss a lot of the first tackles. They get to the secondary pretty easily.
And you're saying it. It's Lexington's defense that's just tired right now. They're back out on the field again after Lexington's quick offensive drive, after being out on the field for 6 minutes. Like, it's tough for them. Handoff. This time it's going to be to Bacon, who will only net a yard. Turner with another tackle that'll net his 6th of the game.
Yep, glad to see him get a stop here for only 1 yard. But Fort Worth already in field goal range.
Almost in red zone range as Patterson will go back to throw, looking for Hacker down the middle. 10th catch of this contest will get another 2 yards. It'll be 3rd and 6.
I think you might see a pass finally here from Fort Worth.
It's 3rd and medium. I wouldn't be too shocked if they decide to maybe hand this ball off to Alexander over on that right side. There will be a pass for Patterson, looking downfield, finds Hacker again. The magic hands continue to be fruitful for the Fort Worth receiver. 1st and goal.
And Hacker is just putting on a receiving clinic out here. Run in the middle of the field, let him throw it to you. I'm going to catch it no matter what.
Exactly so. Why stop looking for Hacker if he continues to have inside coverage on his man? If he continues to stay open, you keep going his way. 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. It will be tackled at the 1-yard line as Jet Zero tries to get that run in. We will end things here in the 3rd quarter. It has been all Fort Worth in this matchup. Up 17-0. Put your forwards up in the chat as we enter the 4th quarter. And we return to you here in Lexington. 17-0 is your score line. It has been all Toros all night, as they are 1 yard away from making this potentially 24-0 as JZ Bacon pushes his way through and gets to the end zone. That's another 6 on the board for Fort Worth.
Yeah, the offensive line just kept pushing with Bacon following him and gets to the end zone.
Just uses his offensive lineman as a little bit of a safety shield. Just uses his strength to push forward, getting to the end zone, and another 6 points go on the board as they're an extra point away from making this 24-0. Kick is up and it is through. 24 Zippo is your score line here in Lexington. Every Tuesday on the Virtual Football Network, you can catch highlights of every game from around the league on SFL Blitz, hosted by Commissioner Cameron Irvine. Listen for your name, get a recap of what you may have missed, and see if you're lucky enough to be named a Player of the Week by the top brass. It's SFL Blitz every Tuesday on the Virtual Football Network, as Gabriel Manning has space over on the left side and could get the first points of the game for Lexington off a kick 6. That's how you get it done. Gabriel Manning gets 6 on the board for Lexington.
I've said it earlier in the game today, he's a very dangerous returner, and he does it this time. He breaks a couple of tackles, a little spin move there. Great blocking by Lexington, the special teams, and some points on the board for Lexington. Maybe this will give him a wake-up call.
A career-leading 27th kick return touchdown for Gabriel Manning. The special team superstar gets Lexington on the board, and that might be a little bit of saving grace. This might be able to wake up maybe some of that Lexington offense and a little bit of that defense now that Manning has gotten himself involved, as they will get themselves 7 now on the board. 24-7 is your scoreline here early in the 4th quarter. Just like that, Rochelle, Fort Worth is going to get the football back after that kick 6.
Yeah, but that last quarter, Fort Worth was on the field for 9 minutes out of the 10.
Yeah, they took a lot of time as Henry McGee was looking to get himself a return to sender himself, but only gets to the 34-yard line. And that was decent blocking from that Fort Worth special teams, but McGee just couldn't quite get himself his own kick 6.
That was close.
About a blocker or two away, I would say, from his second kick 6 of his career. We're going back to the split back formation. Is Fort Worth on first down? Handoff 2-0, who sheds off one tackler, will get 4 yards after getting hit on the second one. And Fort Worth is going right back to the run.
We talked to Hacker earlier before the game started. So they wanted to get this run game going more, and they sure have tonight.
And they went from a more balanced attack to just saying, and you know what? We got 2 running backs that are all-star caliber. Let's feed them the ball. They went from a 50-50 game to now having over 35 carries amongst all players. That's going to be a carry for J.Z. Bacon, who will only get to the line of scrimmage. Iggy Turner trying his best to stop that run game.
Now we're 3rd and 7, so you're thinking, Fort Worth's going to pass here. Let's look for Hacker in the middle of the field.
Especially in quads formation, as Patterson will look back to throw. We'll just dump it off to McGee, who sheds off a tackle and will get the first down.
I thought they had him, but McGee manages to break a tackle and somehow gets the first down.
Yeah, and that's just ability coming into action for the Fort Worth receivers. A dump-off pass, sheds off the tackle, and just nobody on that right side until it's too late. And Fort Worth continues their drive.
And right now, everything's going Fort Worth's way on offense. Except for that, the kick return.
Fort Worth nearing 400 yards of total offense, whereas Lexington is still looking across the 100-yard mark as that's Mike St. Green once again with the one-handed catch to get another first down.
You have Green out there, you have McGee, and you have Hacker. You have a great bunch of receivers out there. Mike St. Green, great one-handed catch.
The former headhunter moving just a little bit further, I would say, into Texas by moving to Fort Worth, and he gets himself 2 spectacular catches tonight. Fort Worth going back to the split spread formation. They're going to move Alexander to a tight end position as they're going to pass, and Hacker once again catch and run and gets through defenders right to the end zone. And just like that, they get their points back after the Manning kick 6 on the board for Fort Worth.
Yeah, Hacker is so fast off the line. He gets the ball in the middle of the field. He just does a little spin move. Makes the defenders look silly out there.
And that caps off a spectacular night for Hacker. Unofficially 175 yards of receiving on 12 receptions. He has been everywhere for Patterson tonight. He has been the crux. If it hasn't been the run game from Bacon and 0, it has been Stephen Hacker. It is now 31-7 halfway through this 4th quarter. And Lexington will get this football back, and it will sail deep into the end zone. Just a simple touchback once again from Manning. Coming up tomorrow on the Virtual Football Network, Washington and Arizona renew their West Division rivalry in prime time under the lights at 9 p.m. Eastern right here on the Virtual Football Network. Other action around the league gets going at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, led by Birmingham at Miami, plus Houston, Carolina, and Anchorage, Mexico City. It's all right here at VFN. As a run from Ian Francis, shedding off 3 tacklers before getting stopped by the 4th. That's a very tough 6 yards for Lexington to start off their drive.
And they don't look like they're in any hurry to get back to the line here. I mean, time is running out. The clock is ticking away. We're down to almost 7 minutes here.
Maybe looking to match the same magic. They're going to go with split backs. They're going to look to hand things off. This time it's going to be to James, who will get close to the first down marker and make it in the 3rd and 1. And I'm kind of with you, Rochelle. You got to think at what point, when do they stop the run and start trying to move the ball down the field?
And Grackle Fence, has been a menace all night to this run run game over Lexington.
A menace, a nightmare, a scarcity, or you can call it whatever it is. And that looked to be him again. That almost stopped them right at the first down marker, but they're going to give Lexington the first down.
I was not sure about that one. Looked a little short, but he gave it to him anyway.
There's been a lot of close calls in this game, Rochelle, going both sides. Slider back to throw, throws a duck, but finds Manning and runs it past midfield, getting into enemy territory. Just when you think it's not a great pass, they still find Gabriel Manning.
And credit Slider for hanging in that pocket. That pocket was getting smaller and smaller by the second.
Yeah, boy, was it ever. And he got hit right after he threw that too, which probably what caused the flip ball to happen. And it still found the hands of Manning. So that's good awareness from Manning to still crack his hands to the football. And they're moving down the field. Slider back to throw again, looking down middle, looked to be Alter with the attempt, but couldn't get his hands on it fully. That's going to fall incomplete.
Secondary just took a huge shot on him right when he went to catch the ball and just knocked the ball out.
Stops the clock at 5:56 left in the fourth quarter. Lexington looking to move down the field, get some more points, as they'll hand it off to Francis, who will net 4 yards, make it a third and maybe a little bit more manageable. But it has been a struggle for Lexington on third down. It's just 4 of 10 on their conversions. We have 4 receivers, 3 on the right side of Slider. As he will drop back to throw, looking down the field, it's picked off.
Oh no.
And there's plenty of space over the left side for Ben Stone to add more insult to injury as another 6 goes on the board. It's not the offense getting points just for Fort Worth, it's also the defense.
And when it rains, it pours, Brett.
Yeah, it's just been a rough second half for Lexington, and that one probably, encapsulates it all for the offense. They're trying to get something going, and Kenny Slider makes one mistake, throws it right into the hands of Ben Stone, who runs it down the field 60-plus yards for a pick 6. And that kick will go up and good and makes things 38-7 with 5:21 left in the fourth quarter. All Fort Worth in this matchup.
The offense is come back with it. They shake off the interception, come back out and put a drive together here.
And they have to, because they're, like you said, they're quickly back out on the field. They can't afford to just keep thinking back on past mistakes. They just got to keep moving down the field. As this ball is touched back once again, man, Sophia Peaches has an iron leg, almost competing with Victor Iron Leg with the power that she has.
She's been doing a good job all night long.
Amazing work from the kickoff team. But Lexington has the football again. They're going to go ace pro with 2 wide receivers. Back to throw a Slider and almost gets it picked off again, almost into the hands of the linebacker. This time it almost was at number 58, Gavin Beekert, with the interception.
Yeah, another dangerous pass from Slider.
And I love aggression, but don't try to throw directly at the linebackers. Slider back to throw again, looking down the right side, will find his man. That's going to be West with the reception, gets the first down for Lexington.
I like that play.
Yeah, I like that play too, especially when you get your receivers involved, especially on just a 2 wide receiver set. You want to find not only formations to get those receivers involved, but you want to find good routes for them too. Slider back to throw on heavy pressure, finds DJ Bandit, who will cross midfield, and inside 5 minutes, we're going to see the hurry up from Lexington. Back to throw again, a Slider looking deep right side, finds West, who will get a catch and run, will step out of bounds, but not before gaining 6 yards. And Lexington's starting to figure things out a little bit on the pass game.
Good awareness by the receiver to get out of bounds and stop the clock. Let me settle down and call a play here.
Yeah, you have to think at this point you're down 31, so you might as well try some plays that will, you might see next week or in the next game, and see if you can stick them for the next game instead of, not trying to hide them completely. Slider back to throw will find West again. No, excuse me, that's going to be Sango over on the left side that will get them a first down. Back to the hurry up is Slider. He'll look to the right side, finds his man. That's West again. West has been open in this drive so far as they inch inside to the 15. Slider to pass again. This time finds Sango, who will get a first down and will get him at the 2-yard line. They will stick with this hurry up with about 4 minutes left to go. Back to throw again, looking short side, and it's broken up. Ben Stone again with the breakup, missing with that pass attempt. Lexington's finding some passes though here, Rochelle.
Yeah, but I hate to see him try to pass from the 2-yard line. I like to see a run here.
And this might be the opportunity. They have a more heavy set formation with, it looks to be Francis in the backside. They're going to shift West over to the right, seeing if they change anything in the formation. They will move Zion Walls a little bit more to the outside, but they're going to pass. And it will be a dump play that will find Alex West over on the right side. 6 on the board for Lexington.
That time I think he caught the defense a little bit short. I was thinking run all the way, and I think maybe the floor for it too, and Alex West just runs a little route. Finds himself alone in the end zone over there.
A little bit of a speed out for Alex West, trying to use his agility to get himself open, and they happen to pay it off with 6 points on the board. And that is their first offensive score of the night. They can breathe a sigh of relief. That offense still works. They just have to make sure to do it all game. I think that's going to be their game plan for the next game.
Impressive drive here, really was.
They're, again, looking to maximize the clock as much as they can, but it will be returned by Fort Worth on the onside kick, and will have great field position with 3:53 left to go.
Yeah, now I can get Fort Worth basically almost in field goal range here.
With that,
Not that it matters at this point.
With how that run game has worked off so well for them, Rochelle, they could just run this guy to the end zone if they want to. So if I'm Lexington, I'm planning for, I would say, all their plays to be run plays.
Wouldn't they?
They're going to pass on first down, looking for Hacker, but it falls incomplete. Looking to catch them off guard, and it leads to a man down on the field, the rookie Hudson Cruz. Maybe not ready for that play, may have tweaked something down, and that might be it for him tonight.
I mean, I thought Fort Worth would take the foot off the gas, but apparently not.
And again, just trying to catch Lexington off guard, perchance. And even Stephen Hacker in the stats booth, he says those old legs still got it. 17 seasons strong. He still finds ways to get open for Patterson tonight. As they will hand things off. This time it's going to be a Jet Zero who will get 4 yards. And now the clock starts running inside of 3 minutes and 40 seconds.
I think you can see another run play here. At least I would hope so.
They're comfortable with letting this clock go, and I don't blame at all. They're going to go with an I formation. This will be I-wing jokers. Getting it right to the end of the play clock. They will pass it, looking for Hacker again, but it falls incomplete. 4th and 6, and this will more than likely get Sophia Peaches back out for a field goal.
That was a rare miss by Hacker tonight.
There's been a couple rare misses tonight. We had there was one in the first quarter where it fell out of his hands, but he's been fairly consistent throughout this game. As that kick off the right hash of Sophia Peaches is up and through, extending this lead 41-14 is now your scoreline with 3 minutes left to go. Now with Lexington getting the football back here, Rochelle, again, I'm thinking more experimental football will be in the hands of Lexington. Maybe we'll see some plays that we haven't seen yet tonight.
Yeah, maybe get that speedy offense back on the field. Maybe they can put another drive together.
Go with the no huddle. That's a great point, Rochelle. That's how they got their points on the last drive, was the hurry up. And I wouldn't blame it all if they wanted to go with the hurry up offense with 3 minutes left, because they'll have the 2-minute warning plus their 3 timeouts to use as well. First down. They've got 3 receivers on the right. They'll be looking that way. Slider as it's caught and bobbled loose, as the pass game still looking for some deep 15-yard throws, but Zion Waddle says, I'm going to get myself a pass breakup.
There were a lot of defenders in that area. There's like 5 of them.
And that's one of the downsides of having a heavy amount of receivers on one side, is that there's going to be a lot of defenders on that same side as well. You're going to go a little lighter with just 3 receivers on second down, going the same way, but finding Manning, who's on that slot side, and they will go with the hurry up. Slider back to throw again, looking for Manning again, finds him one more time. Another 13-yard catch, and they continue to move. Snapping, looking down, going to Weston, can't get his hands on the football. That'll fall incomplete. Clock stops at 2:34.
Where's this offense been all night?
Almost makes you think why we don't have an SFL team that goes hurry up all the time, if it's as successful as this. They'll move Bandit over onto the right side, getting a little extra protection per chance. Slider back to throw, will find Manning again. That quick throw, this time it's going to be Bandit, that guy, the tight end that moved on over. It's a quick throw. There's quick throws on this play here. And again, going quick, finding Manning, this time going 15 yards inside the red zone for Lexington. The Miners are finding their bite right here in the fourth quarter. Slider back to throw again, looking for Manning, gets bobbled up and almost intercepted again, almost into the hands of Tavius Gordon.
And right now, King Slider was doing a good job of threading that needle. That was pretty dangerous one right there.
And this one was just a result of crossing routes and, maybe underthrowing his target this time. But they're going bunch on second down and 10 here. Inside the 15, they're going to move Bandit and make this a more balanced approach. Slider looking back, looking down the middle, possible jostling on the field, which is why we're going to see a pass interference call, and that'll net an automatic first down inside the 5-yard line for Lexington.
It's the first mistake that Fort Worth made on defense tonight.
Yeah, that looks to be 31 with the infraction. That's going to be Willie Middlebrooks with the penalty. A little bit too close for comfort on that pass attempt, and Lexington now is a free first down. Now at the 4-yard line. Slider will go back to throw, looking down the middle of the field, almost intercepted again. Ben Charbs almost gets his hands on the football. Clock stops at 2:02. And going with the 3-receiver set on a single back. Slider back to throw, looking for a quick out pass to West. And if it works the first time, it should surely work again. 6 on the board for Lexington and Alex West.
I was going to say that looked like the exact same play earlier from the touchdown score.
With a little bit of a deeper out route this time, instead of the speed out that we saw at the 1-yard line on the prior drive. But they still get the 6 on the board and have a chance to cut into this lead, make this a 20-point game after the extra point here. And it will go through, so it's 41-21. And Rochelle, if they can recover, maybe 2 more onside kicks, they still have a chance.
I hate the onside kick.
And right to him, and there's an open space down on the right side. He'll get tackled at the 21-yard line. Jones does it again. And Fort Worth just keeps on trucking.
And this time they're in their red zone, I think, to start off this drive.
And this might be the trend that we're going to see here, Rochelle. Lexington will move down the field with the hurry up, go with an onside kick, and then Fort Worth and field goal range immediately after the onside. And I don't blame Lexington. They're still going to try to fight until every last second. Now it's
Did a
two
good
failed
job.
onside. Be a handoff. It'll be to Jet 0. And Lexington still calling their timeouts. They're going to fight with every little thing that they've got left. And that includes their timeouts.
They can get the ball back here with, decent time.
Try to get yourself in one more drive. See if you can get that hurry-up offense to keep moving. That should be Lexington's goal. Another handoff, this time to Alexander. Just his second carry. Only 1 yard gained on the play. Second timeout called by the Biners.
That time he took a big blow from the defense on that hit.
Big hit. Alexander maybe not expecting a run because we haven't seen him carry the football since the first quarter. They definitely got hit and he was lifted off the ground.
Philadelphia Collins, second tackle of this drive.
Linebackers have had some heavy duties. Turner's had 10 tackles. Collins had 13 as Bacon moves the chains on a very gutsy run. That's the final timeout called by Lexington. And Fort Worth continues to just dominate the run game in this second half en route to the victory. And here we will see victory formation here on out as it'll be official. Fort Worth will get their second win of the season, and this game will tie for the highest scoring game this season at 62 points. Both teams very much fighting for this, but it was all Fort Worth throughout this game, and they look good in that second half, Rochelle.
They did, but give credit to Lexington. They fought hard. They came back. They scored 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. With a hurry-up offense that looked incredible.
A never give up attitude, and that's what you're going to need, especially when you were struggling for 3 quarters just to get to 100 yards. They netted 186 fourth quarter yards. Like there's a lot to go back to the locker room about and talk about the positives. So Lexington has nothing to be ashamed about with this game. Fort Worth just had their number tonight, and there's going to be things to improve on from both sides, but I think Lexington is going to come out a little bit better than maybe if they were looking at a blank on the sheet. They got points on the board. That's the important part.
Definitely, and the hurry-up offense was awesome.
Yeah, if they can just work on that and expand upon it too, I think they're going to have a very, very they're going to have a tougher road ahead of them as we see through the rest of the schedule. Next week they will be on the road against Oklahoma City, which isn't a gimme by any chance, whereas Fort Worth, they definitely need this win because they're going to head back home and face Mexico City. But we have hit triple zeros on the board, make the final 41-21 in favor of the Fort Worth Toros. The Toros get their second win of the season. Rochelle Colston, give a quick game recap before we head on out of here.
Mostly it was Fort Worth's run game and hacker all night long. But Lexington came back in the fourth quarter and scored 2 touchdowns in a hurry-up offense. Great game. All positives going forward, I think.
Yeah, great game throughout from both teams, but Fort Worth gets the upper hand in this matchup. And like we said throughout this game, it was all second half run game and basically tiring out that defense that was the difference maker as Fort Worth topples them. Once again, your final score, 41-21 in favor of the Fort Worth Toros. On behalf of Rochelle Colston, on the sideline booth with me, Stephen Hacker and Takeda Yuki over in the stats truck. And of course, on behalf of Cameron Irvine, producer and commissioner extraordinaire, I have been Brett Zollberg. 41-21 your final score. We wish you all a bid.
Good night.